Do you find that your matcha lattes have been lacking in flavor lately? In this video, we're going to show you 5 ways to make a better matcha latte at home. These tips will make your matcha latte healthier, more flavorful, and less watered down. First, you'll want to start with the right type of matcha. While super smooth ceremonial grade matcha like this matcha washamine are great if you're drinking matcha plain, when you add the milk and sugar, you will notice that the flavor of the matcha itself is hard to detect. That's why we recommend going for a more powerful yabukita matcha. The yabukita is a common cultivar of matcha that has a slightly stronger, more vegetal flavor. This stronger flavor is easily smoothed out by the oat milk, and the two pair quite nicely together. You can also go for a latte grade matcha, which is much more affordable and suitable for daily drinking. This matcha is about 1/3 of the price of the more premium ceremonial grade matcha, and it has a strong flavor you can taste through the milk. By using this latte grade matcha, not only will you be saving money, but you'll also be able to create more flavorful matcha lattes. The second tip is to use a plant-based milk for your matcha latte. One of the reasons people like matcha lattes is for their health benefits, and according to certain studies, the casein in the dairy milk can decrease the effectiveness of the antioxidants. Now there are great tasting plant-based milks that pair even better with matcha. The oat milk is a favorite of coffee shops all around the world, but almond milk and coconut milk work great as well. You can also look for soy milk, rice milk, or even hazelnut milk if you prefer. The third tip is to use matcha ice cubes. When regular ice cubes melt, they make the matcha latte taste more watered down, but when matcha ice cubes melt, they actually add flavor to the drink. One of the most common complaints about matcha lattes is that they end up being too watered down, and the ice cubes are a big part of that. This may seem like a lot of work, but you just need to fill up the ice cube tray with matcha once, and you should have enough ice cubes for the whole week. You can then just throw a few of these cubes into your matcha latte in the morning and be on your way. You can even just mix these cubes with your oat milk and make a matcha latte without having to deal with the mixing at all. The fourth way to improve your matcha latte is to start with a koicha or matcha paste. This is similar to the last tip in that it reduces the amount of water you put into your latte. Koicha is a thick matcha paste made using double the amount of powder and half the amount of water. This is typically reserved for special tea ceremonies and occasions, but we have found good results by using it in lattes as well. Just mix up the paste, pour in the oat milk, and then mix the two together. Without adding in all that extra water, your matcha latte will end up being smoother and more flavorful. The final tip is one of the most important, and that's to blend it well. When the matcha is not blended correctly, you get all the clumps in the latte that can make the drinking experience less pleasant. There are a few tricks to make sure that your matcha powder is evenly blended into the latte. The first trick is to sift your matcha powder. When matcha powder is exposed to the humidity in the air, it will almost immediately begin to form clumps. You can remove these clumps by running them through a sifter until you have a nice fine powder. The next trick is to use the koicha step as an opportunity to make sure you smooth out all the clumps. This can be more difficult once more water has been added, but here in this step it's quite easy. Once you have this nice smooth koicha paste, you can then add in the oat milk. The final trick is to make sure that you whisk it well, either with a bamboo whisk or a milk frother. There are other ways to mix up the matcha latte, but these two are the best at eliminating the clumps. Once you have done all these steps, you should have a nice, consistent, and flavorful matcha latte. I hope you have all found this video helpful when it comes to making your own matcha lattes. If you have any questions about matcha lattes, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you next time.